Whoa, that last video done good. 18,000 views in the first 3 days. Get in. Cheers for all the support in that one, lads. But let's kick off a brand new video. Before you do, have a look at this gear. Full bandos, primordial boots, neat as not face guard, bludgeon, nearly max nightmare gear. Looks pretty good, but unfortunately that clip was from a few days ago. This is what we're rocking at the minute. All of that good stuff is gone. We now have a Torag's plate body, Vrak skirt, and you're probably wondering, hey Bekt, where did all your money go? Well, obviously I sold it for in real life stuff. I'm only joking. No, we sold all of our gear to get 99 per, so we have all that banked. We've actually done 83 to 92 so far, and I've just got like 7 levels to go. Is it 7 or 6? Yeah, 7 levels to go to 99 per. Anyway, this video, I was just explaining that so you know why I look like a pleb, by the way. This video, we're going over some pretty crazy stuff in the Grand Exchange that I think you guys will find interesting. First things first, the last video completely broke the price of the Bulwark. It went from 4.4 mil before I uploaded that video to over 9 million, over doubled in price in 24 minutes. 24 minutes since I uploaded that video. It just skyrocketed. People were trading it for over 9 mil for a while. It has evened off now a bit over 6. I'll actually check the price here for you. Right, so here we are at GE. I've been stacking up the old Hydra bones, buying up 99 per, but I'll sell this here Bulwark to see what we're at. So it says it's trading at 5.5 mil, but I'm pretty sure it's still much higher than that. So we whacked her in and she sold for 5.8 mil. So it's actually went down a load from where it was. I think it was just the initial crazy hype having it up at 9. But 5.8, it's still gone up 1.4 million from that video. So yeah, that is pretty crazy. Just the community knowing about the item and how good it is, and more people using it now than there was before the video, has driven it up to pretty much 30% higher after it's evened out, after that big massive initial spike of people panic buying and like wanting to merch it and flip it. Loads of you guys let me know in the comments that you did make a load of profit after like watching that video, bulk buying them and then selling them on. That's awesome. If I had been smart, I would have done the same thing, but I did not think that video would get such a massive response, like so many of you guys watching it and liking it and all that kind of stuff. Cheers for that. But anyway, today's video, I'm going to be going over how you can predict things like this happen in the future, not from my channel, but from like the mods, from updates, from live streams. I'm going to show you a few examples of where it's happened in the past, where you can find this kind of information that can make you a crazy amount of profit just by bulk buying items early. If you get in first or in the top like 100 people to buy these items when they're about to change, you can make absolute bank. I'm going to cover 3 things in the Grand Exchange today actually. I'm going to cover passive flipping, which makes you loads and loads of money over time. It's the one I really love, and I've showed you guys before some of the items I do, but I've actually found a load of new ones. And then I'm going to show you lowballing in the Grand Exchange. You've probably seen those Reddit clips where people have bought Elysian Spirit shields for 1 mil, or Ellie's or Twisted Bows. Ellie's is Elysian Spirit. Yeah, Twisted Bows for like 1 mil and all. Those pictures and those posts are all fake, or at least 99% of them are fake. But you can still lowball in the Grand Exchange, and I'm going to explain why. You can buy loads of items for extremely cheap, like 50% less than their buy price. Sometimes you might have to wait for a while to get them, or you can get them pretty consistently for like 70%, 80%, 90%. Lowballing in the Grand Exchange is just an awesome thing to do. Compared to leaving your cash stack in the bank doing nothing for you, you can just have it in there, no risk. You can always just cancel the offer and then you don't lose anything, but the potential to gain a load of money is class by leaving lowball offers in on the right items. So yeah, that's the 3 things we're going to cover today. I'm going to start off with lowballing because I think it's the most interesting. Then I'm going to show you how to predict future items that can make bank, ones that are just going to fly up in price in the future due to upcoming updates and just stuff like that. Things you can predict that if you're paying attention you can make a load of money on. And then yeah, we'll finish off with that one I said about the passive flipping. Let's get started. Lowballing offers. Right, so first things first, you've made a bit of money in old school RuneScape and you don't want to leave it in your bank doing nothing for you. You want that money to make profit while you're not like playing the game. Old school RuneScape is perfectly set up for that. More perfect than any other game I can think of that has a currency, because old school RuneScape has this attachment for the game on the website. It's right below the high scores called the Grand Exchange, and this thing is pretty much like a stock exchange for the Grand Exchange. It tracks every single item that's bought and sold, it puts them in a graph format, and it can show you exactly how many people have bought and sold them per day, how much volume has been moved in that day, and then every few hours what the buy price is. It's not as good as a stock exchange because they update every few seconds, which means you can track things pretty much live, whereas this you can only track every few hours. But you can still make some massive assumptions about this, and you could actually probably get good at trading stock, just be trading on the Grand Exchange. This all sounds crazy and it's probably going over a lot of people's heads. I know it'd go over mine, but I'm going to make it really easy for you guys so you can understand how lowballing works and why you can buy things about 50% cheaper than what they're actually traded at the Grand Exchange. You can't do it with big items because everybody is going to have an offer in close to the max. If you're looking for T-bows, you're looking for Ellies, nobody bulk sells them. Nobody sells 1,000 T-bows at one time. You can't, because of the way Grand Exchange works. If somebody sold 3 T-bows at once, they would only get 2.1 bill back. They would lose so much money if they insta sold 3 T-bows, just because you can't have anywhere in the game over 2.1 bill. But do you know what people do? Bulk sell unfinished potions in a massive quantities. People sell like 10, 20, 30,000 of these in one go. And if a couple of sellers come along at the same time and just dump all of their items in there because they want the money for something else, you can pick these up so cheap. I have found the perfect way to visualize this for you guys, and you guys are going to find this quite fun. So imagine this here is unfinished earth potions. This is all the buy offers in the left here. In the bottom left in the green is people buying unfinished earth potions. The top left is people selling unfinished earth potions, and then that spread in the middle, that's where all the flippers live. They just buy and sell in between that margin. Actually, it's the exact same as stocks. But imagine a load of boys rock up to the Grand Exchange at the same time to dump a load of unfinished potions. This happens all the time and they just chuck them in there really cheap because they don't care. It's not real life, it's not money. They just throw them in at 1 GP. And this happens every day. What do you think's going to happen? So they chuck in all those offers and the price plummets because there's no more buy offers. Their sell offers is all that's in there. They've bought out every single seller. The price is going to recover extremely quick, like a couple of seconds there'll be more people. This is extremely rare in real life, and if you get in there and actually catch one of these things, you can make bank. But in old school RuneScape, it happens all the time. Oh lads, I've just been talking to the camera here for like 4 or 5 minutes without clicking record. 10 IQ plays. Anyway, sorry if that's got some of you guys scratching your head. I basically need to explain that concept of a flash crash to explain how lowball offers work in old school RuneScape. I hope it's not too confusing. It's not. It's super easy. People come along at the same time to the Grand Exchange and dump a load of items, and the reason why it's super common in old school RuneScape and not common in real life, like that lad in that Aetherum one, it was real hard to find a video of that, but some lad in Bristol in the UK had an offer in for Aetherum. I think it was 72 bucks each or something. Yeah, one lad made £100,000 from 50 quid or something a few years ago just by having offers in, which is crazy. I wish I was that cub. But anyway, in old school RuneScape it's really common for one reason, and that's buy limits. In real life there's none of these buy limits where one person can only buy 10,000 every couple of hours. In the Grand Exchange there is, to stop people like monopolizing an item and driving up the price of food or something, or just ruining the game for other players. It means there's more spread out items, but it also has this weird effect where if one seller or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 sellers come along at the same time, dump a load of items in, say 5% below, they won't sell because they've filled up all the offers, and then they think, oh shit, my item's crashed in price, I'll stick it in for 10, 15, 20% below. It means you can lowball offers pretty regular for 10, 15% below, especially with unfinished potions. Anything with a high quantity you can do this on, by the way. The reason I was using Earth Potions UNF as a example is I used them for my Herblore grind, and I managed to get 2,000 of them for 500 GP each when I was grinding my way up to 70 Herblore for Song of the Elves. Still haven't done that quest, by the way, but I've seen some crazy photos online where people have bought like cannonballs, 7,000 of them for 1 GP each. I can't confirm if a picture is real. It's really hard with just a picture, no video, but the buy limit of cannonballs is 7,000, so maybe it is. I wouldn't recommend doing 1 GP low balls just because a load of people might already have offers in and it'll be super rare that yours will fill. But if you're doing 50%, it is quite likely. If you're doing 60-70%, it's even more likely. So if you want to leave an offer in for something you want for the future, say it's prayer or it's herblore supplies, crafting supplies, fletching supplies, anything like that, leave it in way below the G mid for a few days and it'll probably fill. Hope that's explained lowballing. That's a bit of a strange one. I've covered everything I want on lowballing. I've covered what it is, why it happens, and how you guys can replicate it, but I still don't feel like there's enough information covered on it. Do you know what I might do? Whack like 50 mil or something onto a different account and just put in a load of lowball offers and show you a full video, or maybe even a series just progressing how much I can get away with, how many cheeky offers I can fill within like a couple of weeks. I think that'd be quite interesting actually. I might do that just to cover lowballing again if you want that kind of thing. If not, sorry if that's confusing, but yeah, it's really useful information anyway. We're on to the next one now, which is how you can predict future price surges in items. I'm going to show you a few that have happened recently where items have just skyrocketed, and then I'm going to tell you how you can like predict these or know when they're coming, and then you can whack a load of offers in GE, make a load of money on these items. Right, so here we go, predicting future price surges. How can Bekt predict the future? You probably think I'm chatting shite here, but I know thousands of you guys... Oh, look at that beautiful bulwark. Anyway, getting distracted. I know thousands of you guys will already know this, and there'll be thousands who don't, but anytime there's an update or anytime something is coming to the game, that item or anything related to that item flies up in price. I'm going to give you a few examples here. Whenever they said they were releasing the Nightmare of Ashihama, they had polled a load of rewards for it. One actually passed the polls that didn't make it into the game, which is probably the first time that's ever happened. I can't think of any other times it happened. But the Siren's Tomb, this here was a mage book that had like plus 10 magic damage. It was completely broken when they first polled it, and then they nerfed it down to plus 4%, but even then it was pretty broken, and they'd already had enough rewards and all, and they said if they do release this into the game, it will tank or devalue the price of the Arcane Spirit Shield. So on this day when they put this into the poll, the Arcane Spirit Shield did tank in price. It went down like 25% in a day. This here thing, to make it, you had to attach it to a Mage's book. So Mage's book went from 5 million to 9 million in a day. So if you were watching the polls, if you were watching the rewards, if you even watched like the mod live stream, you knew this thing was coming and you knew how it was made. First few people who watched that live stream would have went to GE, bought a load of Mage's books, or sold their Arcanes if they had any. A load of people who are smart and noticed this here when this actually hit, the mod said, they released a post saying that even though this passed the poll, we're not going to put it in the game. The Arcane Spirit Shield then shot back up like 10 to 15%. Just from having that information that it's not coming to the game, you could have bulk bought Arcane Spirit Shields and made like 20% in a couple of hours, which is pretty crazy. So a lot of the best merchers in the game keep an eye out on what the mods are doing. They watch the live streams, or they just check the updates or the polls, and you can make a lot of money there just by buying items that are about to change or that are going to change. The one in Mauritania is quite funny, where loads of people bought garlic for the Mauritania expansion. People just assumed the future quest is going to need garlic, and the price of garlic went up I think 300%, 3 times the value in a couple of days, because, excuse me mate, because nobody really trades garlic. It's just such a strange item in the game, but everybody's thinking, maybe people will need that in the future for the quest. So just as an example here, a few things are coming to the game soon with the Mauritania expansion. There's a new agility course, so I was thinking, for agility people use stamina potions, and I had a look at them, and they've gone up a wee bit today. They'll probably be going up more when that comes out. But also when you're flying about in an agility course, a lot of people alch, so nature runes will probably be going up. That actually says they're going down there. Oh no, yeah, they're going up. If they're bringing out an agility course, everybody's going to be alching while they run around doing agility, and as you can see, nature runes are going up. There's loads of things you can just think about, like what people will be doing with the new content, and then you can buy the items that those people will need, and it'll 9 times out of 10 fly up in price just by thinking what people will be doing with the new content. So yeah, hope that explains price surges in the future. Definitely does. I think we nailed that one. Right, now on to the one I really like, passive flipping. I've actually told some of you guys about this before, and nobody seems that excited about it. It just doesn't sound that good on paper, but to show how powerful it is, I'm going to calculate how much profit you make from these items per month, because there is almost 0 effort goes in. You just stick in an offer and you have to update it every few days. So the ones I do all the time is iron knives and mithril darts, and wait to see these. You just leave an offer in, and every single one you buy makes you 3 GP profit, which sounds tiny, right? But what did that take me, about 20 seconds? That there just made me 600k, because whenever all these buy, they'll instantly sell. Well, not instantly, they'll all sell very quickly, because this here item gets traded about 3 million a day, and the maximum you can buy every day is 7,000 times 5 times 6. Every 4 hours you can buy 7,000, so it's only like 21k profit every 4 hours. And I think this is where people are like, 21k 4 hours, that is terrible, why is he even telling me about this? But I do a load of these items, and if you leave them in for a month, it pretty much pays for your bonds. It's just crazy how much they add up over time. Pays for all your bonds and makes profit if you have enough of them in. And if you're one of these people who has an alt or has multiple accounts, this is just perfect. You get free membership just by leaving these offers in. These 2 offers alone will make me 21k each. But yeah, it's a decent bit of profit. Every month it makes you this much. and then I'll put it inside this box. Skills, editing later on after the clip. Another one I do that's actually much higher profit but barely moves in price, although it has been fluctuating the past few days, is blood runes. So blood runes get traded massively. I didn't actually mention these. These get traded 3 million around every day, which is quite a lot for iron knives, but these here mithril darts are insane. About 50 million of these go through the Grand Exchange every day, so your 7,000 doesn't even scratch the sides. Like, your 7,000 darts every 4 hours or 50k every day is nothing compared to the amount of these move through. 50 million mithril darts move through Grand Exchange every day, and you can check that on the high scores. Like, you can have a look there, 51 million. Blood runes will always buy a bit below the middle, so I always just whack it down like 5 or 6 GP, whatever it is here. This one you can't leave in for months, you have to do it every few days, but the profit is much higher. So say you leave an offer in for 100k blood runes, you'll make about between 8 and 10 GP in every single one, so that there's about 800k to 1 million, and that there will fill easily in 2 days. You just leave it in, you collect it, you sell it, super easy, no problems at all. There is about 5 or 6 other items. Actually, there's about 100 items you can do like this. You just need to go to the GE, make sure there's a really high trade volume, and avoid free-to-play items. So anything that's free-to-play, I think bots do this in free-to-play or something, because any item that's free-to-play just doesn't move. Normal runes, you'd expect them to be really high because the volumes in them are crazy, like air runes, water runes, fire runes, all that. The volumes are crazy, the amount that move through Grand Exchange, but I think bots must do it, or there must be a massive competition for it. So another one I've been doing for months whenever I made this account was saltpeter. You guys actually spotted this in the Rune Dragon series whenever I was making it. I always had buy offers in for 2 GP, and I was always selling them for 4 GP, doubling my profit on every single one of the saltpeters I bought. And these will fill within 4 hours, at least they would before everybody kind of found out about them. And I was flipping them, they have a really high buy limit. I think it's 13,000 every 4 hours. So you're making 26k every 4 hours in those. They're much worse now that all you guys know about them, but I'm sure some of the other salts would be very similar. The really good thing about them is when I made this account, I only had like a mil, and these are so cheap. They're only 2 GP, and you make that much money off them, that even on a very small cash stack, you could still make a lot of profit on them. They still work, except now instead of it being a 2 GP flip, it's now a 1 GP flip. They go for 3. It does take a wee bit to sell, and they're much slower. So yeah, don't do these because everybody knows about them, but they were class. I must have made about maybe 10 mil just flipping saltpeter. Actually more than that, because I was doing these for months. Probably made about 15 or 20 mil just flipping saltpeter, which doesn't make sense saying they're only 2 GP. But the thing with passive flipping, it's just profit over time. I did collect some of my blood runes and sold them there. You can see I made like 80k. I'd usually leave these for a few days and do them, but it's just to show you is they do buy and sell. You don't actually have to collect and sell all the time. A really good option to do with this here, or what I'd suggest doing, or rune arrows are also good, but they're a bit slower to buy, but they will come through anyway, and then you can get between 4 and 6 GP profit from them. There's hundreds of items that don't fluctuate too much in price that you can just leave the offers in for days, make a load of money. The best way to do it is to have 6 items that you're flipping, 6 items that you're buying, sorry, and then you have 1 sell offer, and then 1 slot empty. You can use it for selling when you want, but I also use this as kind of just a useful slot to have open for if I need to buy anything in the game. I'll not have to cancel any offers. So you'd have 6 buy offers in that'll make you this much profit. Then you have 1 sell offer that you'll be like swapping every time an item's nearly bought. Just stick it in selling, because they do sell very quickly if you're doing the right kind of items that have a really high movement, you know, really high volume. So it's very low margins, very low profit, but because the items don't move much, and there is still a lot of them going through the Grand Exchange, they don't like fluctuate in price much. Sorry, they do move lots, loads and loads and loads of them get sold every day, but the price doesn't change too much. Just means you can flip them and you can make loads and loads of money with very little effort over about a month. So these here 6 items will make you 44 million per month per account. A lot of people nowadays in RuneScape have multiple accounts. Some people who like PK and have like a pure and a main, or they might have a main and a Zerk, or a pure and a Zerk. Some people who like PVM have a main and an alt. There's a lot of people out there who have multiple accounts, so that just doubles your profit margins, and there's so little effort updating the offers. You just leave them in for a bunch of days, maybe even a week on some of these items. Now different items have different margins, so your profit will probably be between 30 and 100 mil depending what items you pick per account, so I think that's pretty cool. I think passive flipping is really underrated in this game. I don't know many people that do it, so definitely worth looking into. There's 3 really cool ways you can treat the Grand Exchange. I hope you have learned something in this video. I'm going to end this one here, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy. Bye.